All right, how's everybody doing? We're trying out a little bit of new software, but that's not going to fix the yellow janky room that we're in again. The yellow janky room. I'm just bathed in yellow in here. Hopefully the quality is okay. We are doing it live. We are using a new software called Restream, if you've ever heard of it. It's got some interesting little features here. I think I can even overlay your comments. If you type comments, it'll just automatically display. So that means if people want to troll, they could just get in there and just troll, and their comment gets displayed right away, right next to my face. I'm not sure how much I like that one, but anyway, we'll take that off for now. But yeah, good to see some of you here. I know I didn't really give proper warning, so it might be a little cozy little group today, but that's okay. That is just fine. Some of you will watch the replay. Some of you will listen to the podcast later. It's all good. But part of this also is we get to broadcast on Twitter right now. So on X. So we got some people on X, it looks like. If you're listening on X, you can try to comment on there, and I think I should be able to see it here. Big League, says Jordan Santaga. Oh yeah, we're trying new things, Jordan. We'll see. Maybe we try this out and we decide it's not that great. There's some things about Restream that I don't think are that great, but it's okay. We'll try it out for like a month and see how we like it. But how's everybody doing? I hope you're all doing well. Things have been pretty busy on my end. Just working now, of course, doing the work that I'm doing. And we got some NBA Top Shot news. We got some new packs that just got announced. There were some pretty interesting wrinkles on these new packs, if you guys took a look yet. So these are NBA Cup premium packs. I mean, they're called NBA Cup, but there's other rare moments in there as well that are not related to the NBA Cup. So if we actually share that, I can actually show you right now. Let's take a look together. So there you go. Let's see what's a nice layout that we can see my face still. There you go. There's my head in the corner. Jeff is here. He says, I normally just listen to the pod, but nice to see you live. Well, Jeff, thank you for tuning in to the live show, Jeff. I appreciate you showing up. Make sure you've liked and subscribed, of course. But it's nice to see some podcast listeners. You are also very special, Only Tans. Very close and near and dear to my heart. So thank you, Jeff. Nice to see you here. Anyway, so this is the new pack that was just announced. It is the December 6th, 2024 premium pack, and you got a guaranteed rare or legendary. There's also a chance at a very special supernova. So I'm not sure if you guys saw that, but there's a Hakeem Olajuwon. I believe there are 2 of these in the packs, so that's pretty cool. Hakeem Olajuwon, this is his rookie debut on the Houston Rockets. So it's a pretty fun clip to watch if you actually go check it out. They have that really epic music in the background. It is pretty cool. I mean, the production value on this stuff has really gone up, in my opinion. Even down to the commons, which I think is sort of interesting that the commons honestly have like beautiful music and edits and cuts and everything. So Brandon over there is doing a really nice job on curating everything. And it's interesting the way that this product has matured if you think about it, because it started it wanted to be a collectible, but in the beginning, they weren't very collectible in terms of just the quality of the moments. And nowadays they are very collectible in terms of the quality of the moments. Um, the audience though has changed, the tastes have changed, sort of the speculation has changed. It's matured. But anyway, you can see what you can get in these packs. What I think is most interesting is you got the 2 supernovas of Hakeem Olajuwon in these packs, which are pretty cool. Another really interesting wrinkle, though, is that if you pay attention, there is a Victor Wembanyama MGLE. So that is a Victor Wembanyama rare challenge reward, and you get one for locking these 5 MGLE moments: Luka, Vucevic, Suggs, Shaden Sharp, and Lauri Markkanen. So if you have your eyes on getting a Victor rare, there you go. You can collect and lock those moments. Excuse me. But what's super cool about that is that 5 packs out of all the packs that will be on sale, which is around 3,600, I think, but 5 of those packs will have all 5 MGLE moments that are required for the Wemby. So that's kind of fun. So call those what you want. Call them a God pack, a hot pack, a clutch pack. This is actually something we were talking about. What should they be? Should they be called something? But no, at the end, they're just all MGLE packs. So you're going to be able to get 5 of these packs. If you're lucky, 5 of you will get a pack that has all MGLE moments in it that you will then be able to get your Victor Wembanyama challenge reward instantly if you'd like. And Jeff's here and Sean is here. What are the new packs? So Sean, we're going over that now. These are new packs that are releasing tomorrow. It's a 24-hour reservation. So it's not first come, first serve, as we saw in the past. This is a 24-hour reservation. And they're $29 packs. You have a guaranteed rare, chance at the legendary, chance at the supernova. You can see here what's also really cool that they did last week as well. Yes, it did work, Sean. Comments, did this work? Are you talking into your phone or something, Sean? This is voice to text. But yes, the comments work, Sean. They work. And what's cool again is that you will have a chance actually of hitting a rare. Oh, so actually it's even better than I thought. Last time you had a chance at hitting a rare and a legendary. This time you actually have a chance at hitting a legendary and an ultimate and a rare. Oh, no, sorry. This is okay. Sorry, this gets a little confusing if you're not reading this correctly. You do have a chance at a legendary or an ultimate. Most packs, though, will have their guaranteed rare, and that'll be your one guaranteed rare. Someone, though, might get a legendary and ultimate in a pack. And like I said before, 5 of you will get all rares. They will be all the MGLEs to be able to trade in for the Victor Wembanyama challenge reward. So fun stuff, at least trying some fun different things, which I think is a good idea. And that's about it. That's about it for the pack. Oh man, I'm yawning through this episode. I'm pretty tired. Let's see. What else do you guys want to talk about? NBA Cup, that just happened. I mean, that's still happening. I think it would be fun if like the Magic can somehow pull it off. I've become kind of a Magic fan after being able to drop in on that Franz Wagner, Mo Wagner hangout a couple weeks back. That was really fun, and And it's something that I think a lot of people don't really quite understand what it's like until they sit in to one of those things. And something that I'm trying to do is make it a little more accessible, at least a couple of those packs. Packs. I'm reading Sean's comments. Yeah, God packs. God packs, Sean. All MGLEs. Um, anyway, yeah, so those hangouts are a lot of fun. And yesterday we actually had the Jamal Crawford hangout, and some people were randomly selected to be able to enter into that Jamal Crawford hangout. And you could also craft your way into the Jamal Crawford hangout or trade in your way. So I actually told somebody that was on this show before, because I know he's a huge Knicks fan, and I told him, like, look, there's not that much competition on this leaderboard. You should just go, just buy a few rare moments, trade them in, and you could go hang out with Jamal Crawford for an hour. And that's what he did. So it's one of those things where it's really worth checking it out. If you guys have never done it, the next hangout is going to be a pretty big name. It's a Hall of Famer. It's somebody that's like another NBA legend. So Jamal Crawford, great player, really interesting guy, and he does play-by-play now. And he sometimes is on TNT. So he's like a really well-polished type of guy, a type of NBA player that is fun to listen to tell stories. And the next one is going to be an even bigger name. No disrespect to Jamal Crawford, but a pretty big name with some pretty amazing stories, I'm sure. So that's going to be fun. And just keep an eye on it. And when it does happen, you should consider trading in a few moments to be able to sit in one of those things, because I just think it's super cool. Now I'm able to like listen in on some of the past ones, the previous ones. And I was sort of kicking myself because I could have, whoops, what did I do? I could have, sorry guys, I don't know how to, there we go, stop screen sharing. I could have sat into the Larry Bird call, and that wasn't that hard to get into either. That was like, I think you had to burn like one of his rares basically, and you could have gotten in, maybe two. And I didn't do that. And so after the fact, I was like, man, that was stupid. I could have talked to Larry Bird for like an hour for the equivalent of, I don't know what it was, like $60, maybe a little more. It's pretty cool because when I watched back the recording of it, you know, he like talks, right? He answers your questions, of course, and talks to you and brings up other kind of fun little anecdotes, and it's just really cool. I don't know how else to say it. It is really cool. Anyway, Jeff wants to know which team. I don't think I can say, Jeff. If I leak the team, you're gonna know who it is. So I can't leak the team, unfortunately, because it's an all-time great. And yeah, if I tell you which team, you're gonna be able to narrow it down to like 3 players or something. So I can't tell you which team. Anyway, Sean says, let's talk about the new challenges. Yeah, so we can bring up that screen again then if you want to look at those challenges again. Let's see if that's working. Yeah. So if we look at the challenges, another thing also that's changed, I don't know if you guys notice, but something else that's changed is the challenges are now easily accessible from the pack page instead of on a blog. So I'm curious how you guys feel about that. I think it's good to have all the information you need from the pack page. I think that is a good thing. I think that is better. I mean, I think people have asked to have things more focused in on a certain area of the website, and this does that, I think. And also I like how these challenge graphics that are created it just gives you what you need really quickly at a glance. You can see that it's going live tomorrow, and it'll be live for, I guess, the equivalent of 3 days. You have a hollow icon challenge. That's for the deep wallets. Oops, what happened? I clicked away. You have a hollow icon challenge for LaMelo Ball. That's an awesome moment. I've seen it. And for that one, you got to lock the 2 hollows that were released in the last drop, which would be, no, sorry, there were 3. Şengün, Randall, and Wagner, and then 1 from this drop, which is Jimmy Butler. If you want the rookie NBA Cup Challenge Award of Reed Shepherd, then what's interesting here is you can collect and unlock either NBA Cup rare of Brown and Şengün. So they have 2 NBA Cup rares. And then Tatum, James, Giannis, Chris Paul, Peyton Pritchard, and Zach LaVine. So that's a pretty nice group of players just to have. And if you have them and you want to get this Reed Shepherd challenge reward, you collect and lock. And then, of course, you have our MGLE, which we talked about. That's the Wemby MGLE. And by the looks of it, that will be a pretty accessible Wemby challenge reward. I mean, Doncic might command some pricing there, some high pricing, and maybe these other guys might command some high pricing just because of the ability to get a Wemby, honestly. But yeah, the Doncic, but otherwise a Vooch rare, a Suggs rare, a Sharp rare, a Markkanen rare. None of those on the market that are not MGLE are very high up there. Luka is maybe $30 currently, but the other ones are like around 15 or less, I would think. So we shall see what happens with the pricing of these MGLE rares, considering Wemby is on the other side of that. I mean, I imagine there's going to have to be a little bit of a, I don't know, there's going to be elevated interest in being able to craft for a Wembanyama, right? All right, so let's keep it going here. I'm trying to get used to this streaming platform and see if I stick with it. But anyway, Jeff says, hopefully it's the Suns. Well, Jeff, I can neither confirm nor deny if it's the Suns, but I take it you must be a big Charles Barkley fan. I don't know, who would be the other Suns players that you'd want to chat with? Kevin Johnson, Dan Marley, perhaps? Shaquille O'Neal. I don't think we'd call him a Suns player if we had to choose a team. Anyway, those are the Suns players that come to mind when I talk about the Suns. Sean says, maybe it's the Rockets. Jared is here. What's going on? Sup, Tandy man. Hello, Jared. Joe Splosion. That's right. Jared isn't worried about the Bitcoin pump. He's got Joe Splosions. Jeff is here. And Boston Base is here. Jeff says packs will be hard to get. See, that's the thing, too. Like, packs are hard to get because they get oversubscribed. The last one, there was a similar amount of packs available. I want to say, actually less. I think there were less packs available last one. Well, it was somewhere in like the 3,000 range. I don't remember off the top of my head. But I think 8,000 people wanted to get their hands on packs. Or not just people, but that's how many reservations. 8,000 reservations for packs. So some of those people were getting wanted multiple packs, right? And I think the same thing's going to happen this time. I think the fact that you can get your hands on sort of some little interesting wrinkles this time around, like the Supernova Hakeem Olajuwon, the 5 MGLEs in a pack, I think that's going to garner some new interest. And I'm glad that they are playing around with, pack mechanics. I think that makes it more fun, honestly. So yeah, it will be hard to get, Jeff, I think. But the fact that it's a reservation, maybe you'll have a better chance than if it was just live and first come, first serve, perhaps. I'm not sure. Boston Base says, hi, I'm late. Can someone update me on what I missed in the last 50 minutes? Well, it wasn't 50 minutes, Boston Base, because we started late. We've been starting late as of lately. Yeah, I had to put my daughter to bed. And now that I've been working later into the day, like the tasks, the meetings are later in the day, I should say. So it's been forcing me to start streaming later, which has not been easy. I'll be honest. It's not been easy because I'm pretty tired, but it's okay. If you guys don't mind, I don't mind. Let's see. What do we have here? What fun things can we do here? I'm trying to figure this stuff out. Oh, that's right. I have a new clip. Do you guys remember when I told you that I wanted to make a clip of Weisberg? Yeah, poor Tandy. My age is showing. It's just I'm not sleeping well, Boston Base. My daughter doesn't let me sleep. I don't know about your daughter, but my daughter wakes me up at around 2 or 3 in the morning almost every night. And then again at like 6 in the morning. So she wakes up twice a night, and it's just brutal. So I haven't been sleeping well for like a long time. So I think I am aging very quickly, perhaps. Jeff went 0 for 10 on the last drop. Well, I think you're due, Jeff. Anyway, so I talked about on the last one. I talked about Weisberg. My daughter respects me, says Boston Base. I talked about Weisberg. So the last time Weisberg was in the chat, and I don't know if he's not here now, but Weisberg asked me to play the awkward handshake because he wanted to see himself in the corner walking across the back of the video. And I thought it would be funny to make a song with Weisberg singing the REM song. So the other day I had some time in the morning, and instead of doing tasks around the house or important things, things to better myself as a human being, maybe go to the gym, maybe, I don't know, meditate, read some self-help books. Instead, I did this.
That's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight. Losing my religion. Trying to keep up with you. And I don't know if I can do it. Oh no, I've said too much. I haven't said enough.
Masterpiece. Masterpiece. Hang it in the Louvre. And Weisberg can't get mad at me because I shilled him at the end. So that is a new masterpiece on Tandy Time. You don't get that content anywhere else, guys. Let's be honest. You don't get that content anywhere else. Anyway, so that was fun. We could definitely play that. That could be a weekly one. That could be an Old Yeller. That could be a weekly one every week. We could just watch Weisberg singing REM music. You're welcome, Boston Base. Thank you. Thank you. And the mist kissed, as Dap Insider says. And Boston Base says, honestly, I put in noise canceling AirPods and my wife handles whatever happens during the night. # compromise. That's right. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. Let's see. What else do you guys want to talk about? The Hawk Tua girl? Well, she apparently scammed people for millions of dollars. So that happened. Oh, wow. Look at that. Bravo, says Boston Base with a beautiful super chat. Thank you, Boston Base. That's very kind. Ice cream, so good. I actually, I have an audio that I uploaded that I was going to do also. I'm all discombobulated because, hold on, I think it's this one. Okay, ready? Boston Base, this is for you. Hold on. This is for you, Boston Base. This is the new Ice Cream So Good. Here we go.
Ice cream is so good.
Can you hear that? It sounds really soft. Let me see if it'll play one more time. All right, this is for Boston Base again.
Ice cream is so good.
All right, hopefully you could hear that. It sounded really soft in my headphones, but hopefully you could hear that. You don't like that one, Boston Base? You said yikes. What does that sound like? Does that sound like an OnlyFans girl that I paid to do that or something? Because I swear that's not what I did. Peachy Luro was here. Hello, Peachy Luro. Interestingly enough, Peachy Luro, I don't know which leaderboard it was, Peachy Luro, but you're on one of those leaderboards because when I was looking at the leaderboards for the Jamal Crawford Hangout, I saw Peachy Luro, and I was like, oh, I know that name. So Peachy Luro was this close to chatting with Jamal Crawford. But what you missed, Peachy Luro, and what Boston Base you also missed, is that you guys can get into these Hangouts fairly easily. So even though it's like a nice to have, the fact that you can just get in there if you're on a leaderboard, like if you want to get in there, it's not a huge thing. You can get in there. And I think it's worth it. I think it's worth your time. Anyways, we were talking about the not the ice cream so good girl, the Hawk Tua girl. The Hawk Tua girl scammed her followers. And that was kind of sad. I always thought she was sort of this innocent girl who, it's so weird though, because her whole thing now is like when people see her at these like Comic Cons and stuff, like people line up to go see her, which is crazy. She had like a 5 minutes of fame just being really, I don't know, kind of sexually vulgar outside of a bar area in like Mississippi, and it has completely launched her into stardom. And up until now doing a meme coin, and they like took all the liquidity out instantly. Like she did it with some people and they took out like millions of dollars instantly. They just rugged it instantly. So that was kind of unfortunate to see. And it's unfortunate that, you know, as crypto becomes more and more commonplace, these scams become more and more commonplace too. It's just kind of a bummer. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. What else you guys want to talk about? Bitcoin broke $100,000 since we last spoke. I think now it's broke just under it though. It was at 100 and as high as like 104, just about. And right now, today though, it's taken a bit of a tumble. What's interesting though, like Bitcoin kind of tracks with the markets. Actually, it tracks with the other markets like the Nasdaq and the S&P, the SPY. So everything is down today. And so Bitcoin is no different. But still, that was pretty exciting to see Bitcoin top 100,000. That was pretty cool. Boston Bay says, sometimes you just have to put yourself out there. Yeah, I don't know what that's in relation to, but I agree. You do just have to put yourself out there sometimes, Boston Base. It's true. Sometimes you got to put yourself in like kind of uncomfortable situations. And then you learn about yourself and you grow from the other side. What else, guys? I feel like I'm struggling today. We're only a half an hour in. I can't lean on the chat as much as I'd like to. There's not as many people here today. You know, I got the Nightbot. Hey, Nightbot, how's it going? He says, go invite a friend to join the chat or else the judge will force us all to watch the live token feed for an hour. I could probably update that Nightbot description. What else, though? Let's see. Should we set our fast break lineups? That's always fun. Let's go do that. Or I'll show you my fast break lineup and you show me yours. If I show you mine, will you show me yours? Was that what the kids say? Let's see. There is fast break. As you can see, I'm having a pretty good run so far. Yesterday, I won. I basically just chose the Boston Celtics. I figured that they would beat the Pistons. It was plus minus, and I just chose the Celtics. And guess what? They delivered. A big reason for this delivery, though, was Jaylen Brown and Sammy Hauser, because if you put in Pritchard, he had a -1, plus minus. And Horford and White also only had a 5 and a 4. So plus minuses are kind of a crapshoot, honestly, because you can have a winning team, but when your player's on the floor, the other team scores more points, and now you got a negative on your side. So Top Shot Hotshot is here. Hello, sir. How are you? Thank you for being here. And Pitchy Luro is asking, who is going to win the NBA Cup? And Jeff is saying, inner sanctum gossip, please. What does that mean? I need you to break that down into simple words for me, Jeff. What is inner sanctum gossip? Tandy NFTs wishes happy holidays. Thank you, Tandy NFTs. The same to you. I actually have like something Portuguese here. If you guys want to learn about some Portuguese holiday traditions, I don't know if you can see that very well, but that's called like the king's bread or like the king's cake. It's basically like a spongy, well, it's not super sweet though. It's kind of like something in between a bread and a cake. Has raisins and nuts and pine nuts and walnuts, and that's quite popular here. So the more you know. Anyways, what were we going to talk about? The NBA Cup. So the Mavs are there, right? The who else is there right now? I don't like. It's kind of hard to follow the NBA Cup, honestly. Let's see. Let's go look. Okay, I need to look at a bracket to better understand the NBA Cup. Let's go look at it together. Here's the NBA Cup bracket. All right, here we go. Here we go. Now we know what we're looking at. We got OKC and the Mavs, Rockets and the Warriors, the Bucks and the Magic, and the Knicks and the Hawks. Well, the Knicks and the Hawks is definitely a fun matchup because they have a bit of a history, and it's fun to watch Trae Young punk Knicks and Knicks fans. That's definitely fun. The Magic and the Bucks are an interesting matchup just because, like I said, the Magic are a really fun young team that are sort of beating the odds lately. No one thought they'd be playing this well with Paulo Banchero out. A big reason of that, of course, is our favorite German brothers, Franz and Mo Wagner, Top Shot ambassadors. So I think like it's kind of a toss-up. I guess the Knicks have been playing pretty well. I'd probably slot them in there. The Bucks have been playing a lot better recently. Giannis is playing like an MVP again. So it's definitely possible for Giannis to bring the Bucks into the semifinals. On the other side, you got the Rockets and the Warriors. The Rockets are a really surprising team. I don't think anyone thought that they'd be that good this year. So it would be fun to see them beat the Warriors. The Warriors have also been outperforming expectations. Luka just came back from injury. OKC is definitely the team that people thought was the best team leading into the season. So I think that OKC is probably a popular pick to get to the championship, and the Bucks are probably a popular pick to get to the championship. But I think that the NBA Cup is all about watching teams that you never thought would have a chance win. So I'd like to see the Rockets get there, and I'd like to see the Magic get there, honestly. Like, that's the kind of thing I'd like to see, I think. Because the NBA Cup, let's not take it too seriously. It's not that serious. That's why when LeBron James and the Lakers were like celebrating the NBA Cup, like I get they're trying to make fetch. What was that from that movie? Stop trying to make fetch happen. It feels like they're trying to make fetch happen. They're trying to make the NBA Cup happen, but all the power to them. I think if we can create more fun tournaments in the NBA, that's great. If people kind of lean into it and enjoy it. So yeah, I don't know. Who do I think is most likely going to win this thing? It almost feels like it's going to be the Thunder or the Bucks. It's like a toss-up between those two teams. Who would I like to see win it? I think it'd be fun actually to see the Knicks win it, see how seriously their fans take a championship in the in-season tournament. But also I think that something interesting that I read preseason is that this really gives young players almost like real playoff experience. So it would be cool to see one of these young teams get there, like the Magic. The Hawks actually are a pretty young team. The Rockets, like one of those teams, I think would be fun if one of those teams could win. Tandy is a mean girl. Yep, we're trying to make fetch happen. And Peachy says New York versus Atlanta is definitely a good matchup. Yeah, I would agree. It is. And if we take a look at the standings, by the way, let's go take a look at the standings just to get situated here. The Cavs are still number one in the East. I don't know how much longer they will be number one in the East. I think the Celtics are definitely the better team, in my opinion. They're nipping at their heels. They are 9-1 in their last 10. I mean, the Celtics are just really playing efficiently lately. They just got Porzingis back. They're just a really solid team. The Heat are kind of surprisingly bad, but they're still in the playoffs. They have a 500 record. And then these kind of teams, like the Sixers, have to be the biggest disaster of the whole season at 5-15. That's just terrible. 3-7 of their last 10 is just awful. The Wizards are clearly tanking. Meanwhile, in the West, the Thunder. The surprising thing here is that the Rockets are second. That's amazing. It's amazing that Ime Udoka could take the Rockets to number 2. And otherwise, yeah, the West is kind of a surprising shakeup right now. The Rockets 2, the Grizzlies 4, the Suns 5, and the Warriors 6. I mean, it's surprising that the Nuggets are at 8. It's surprising that the Timberwolves are at 11 and the Kings at 12. Like, those are all pretty surprising. I think the Pelicans also, people thought that they would be better this year, but Zion can't stay healthy. So that's the problem. You got to stay healthy. Weisberg is here. Weisberg says, I'm psyched that the C's aren't in the cup. The C schedule is incredibly light. Only three teams over 500 the entire month of December. Yeah, I don't really care too much about the cup, and I think that's probably the problem with the cup. I think we're supposed to care, and I don't really care very much. Airplane mode is here. Airplane mode, if I'm not mistaken, airplane mode hung out with Jamal Crawford yesterday, so that must have been cool for you. Airplane mode, if you want to share your feedback in the chat, what that was like. Because some naysayers, I'm not going to say who the naysayers were, but some naysayers are like, why would I care about a virtual call with an NBA player? And why wouldn't I just go listen to a podcast? Why wouldn't I just go listen to them? For example, Jamal Crawford was on JJ Redick's podcast. He's probably been on like All the Smoke and all those kind of podcasts. He's like a very good speaker, honestly. He tells a lot of good stories. And so some naysayers, and you'll see it actually on like the Twitter threads too. They'll say like, why would I want to do that? I don't get it. I guess you don't know until you've done it. There's something special about being in the same room. And there you go. Like airplane mode's right here. Indeed, it was great. Top Shot is amazing. So, don't take my word for it. I think that it really is cool. It's really cool. And airplane mode played against Jamal Crawford in high school. That's pretty cool. Weisberg, by the way, I don't know if you saw your REM rendition, but I have to play it for you now. This goes out to Mike Weisberg. Weisberg, I hope you enjoy. This is the awkward handshake, but now it's been adjusted to be focused on our friend, Mike Weisberg.
That's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight. Losing my religion. Trying to keep up with you. And I don't know if I can do it. Oh no, I've said too much. I haven't said enough.
Just gets better every time. So QA says, what is happening to the Lakers? They started well. Yeah, I don't know. Is it father time? Is it father time? I don't know, man. The NBA is way more exciting when the Lakers are a good team, but I didn't have high hopes for them, honestly. Like JJ Redick, smart guy, but first-time coach. Drafted Bronny James. Best players are either old or injury prone. I mean, it usually doesn't end well. We like seeing teams like the Knicks and the Lakers playing well, but it doesn't always end well, does it? When you base your team on old or oft injured players. Sean is saying we need to make challenges easier to understand quickly. I actually thought they weren't that hard to understand, Sean, but I'm curious what your feedback is there. Reddy says, what did I walk into? Yeah. I walked into a Top Shot god at work. Thank you, Sean. And QA says, Tandy, you have a lot of spare time. Like I was explaining, it was like one morning and this idea was just on my head. I'm like, I'm just going to make it. I have to make it. Sometimes you have this creative, at least for me, like I have this creative, I guess like scratch that I have to itch. And sometimes that's it. Sometimes I'm walking back from school after dropping off my kid. And I'm like, I need to make a video about Mike Weisberg in the back of that handshake video. And I need to use what's it called again? The character AI so that he's singing the song. I'm like, I have to do it. And that's it. And I come home and I do it. The Lakers are a shit show, says Weisberg, and it's not about JJ. You're right, and it's also probably because LeBron James is the one GMing that roster, and he's not a very good GM. Sean says, are you going to attend the Dapper Labs company holiday party? I don't even, is there a holiday party, Sean? I was not made aware. Rumor is Roham is going to buy all of his employees iPads. Well, I could use an iPad, but I'm not an employee, so I need to become an employee first. And then I will gladly take an iPad. All right, so let's look at Fast Break. We were talking about Fast Break. So yesterday was plus minus, kind of a crapshoot. What was the day before? The day before was blocks and steals. That can often be a difficult night, but I've been kind of nailing blocks and steals lately without Wemby, by the way. No Wemby, and I'm still nailing blocks and steals. So Brooke Lopez is a great player to have on blocks and steals night, as is Turner. But I think the star for me, the star of the show was Mr. Jalen Williams of the Oklahoma City Thunder. 3 steals. Pretty awesome. Steals are hard to come by. He had 3 of them. So that was great. Anyway, so today is rebounds and assists. And I feel pretty good about this lineup. I do. I feel pretty good about this lineup. So I'll get to these comments in a second, but Sabonis is a double-double machine. Towns playing very well. Luka, as far as I can tell, is not injured, at least for now. Jokic also, amazing player, MVP in my opinion, and he can rack up tons of assists and rebounds, and Morant can rack up assists as well. So basically you just take the averages and you try to figure it out, and I think it's kind of close on assists, actually. That's why my last player that I chose was I needed somebody that had a lot of assists potentially. But I think this is a winning lineup, and let's see how chalky I am. Ready? Let's see how chalky I am. I bet you I'm very chalky. Jokic, Sabonis, Doncic, and Morant. So I have 4 out of 5 of the chalkiest players. What's surprising to me a little bit, though, is that Jokic is being played by 71%. I'm curious how many people are playing Jokic as their only play of the run, and how many people are playing Jokic that have, let's say, a rare. That would be very interesting to me. I want to figure that out, actually. I'm going to make a note. I want to know how many people who play Fast Break own a Jokic rare. That is something I want to go look into later. Anyway, let's see. What else? What else? Have you guys seen that? You guys, who's a TikTok person on this chat? There's like a Barron Trump video where Melania Trump is talking to Barron when he's like 4 years old, and he says something about his suitcase, and it's like, it's brain rot. It's more of this brain rot content that has become so popular. Unbelievable. Costco guys, Hawk Tua, brain rot TikTok content where he says like, I want to get my suitcase. It's something like that. So it's like, no, he says something like, I like my suitcase. Now I feel like I have to find it. It's so stupid. Hold on. Suitcase. I got to find it. We got to show it to you. All right. Ready? This is the brain rot. Let's share the brain rot together. There we go. Hold on. Hopefully it's working. What's this?
I like my suitcase. I have to go to school now.
Yeah, you will have lunch and then you go to school.
Now I'm gonna go.
Yeah, first you will have lunch and then you go to school.
Now you can do reading, writing, and arithmetic.
I like my suitcase. I have to go to school now.
Yeah, you will have lunch and then you go to school.
Now I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I like my suitcase. I have to go to school now.
Yeah, you will have lunch and then you go to school.
Now I'm I like my suitcase. I have to go to school now.
Yeah, you will have lunch and then you go to school.
Now I'm gonna go.
Yeah, first you will have lunch and then you go to school.
All right. Oh man, that kind of took me back to the times we would watch playback and we would just watch random YouTube videos for an hour. Those were the days, huh? Maybe we can do that on here. I like my suitcase. All right, let's keep it going. Let's see. I'm missing some chat here. DAP Insider. Tandy works for Dapper. I'm a contractor, DAP Insider. I do work for Dapper currently. It's good times. I wasn't working for many months, or I was doing like kind of odd jobs for many months. So having a job that I get to work on that's interesting is good times for me. Oh, he wasn't invited. He admitted, says Boston Base. And Reddy Miller is laughing. And Sean says, DAP Insider sounds like an outsider. Exactly. QA says you should use Koulibaly and Tari Eason. Okay. They are great for steals and blocks. Oh, you mean on steals and blocks nights. Okay. All right, let's keep it going here. Let's see what else I am missing here. Airplane Mode agrees that Chalk is going to win. DAP Insider says, I am the reason that you get so many emails. Well, there's different divisions. So the emails that I send out are usually around things like packs and challenges. So when you see pack and challenge emails, that's probably something I'm sending to you. And when you see things around fast break, that is not something I'm sending to you. But let it be known that if you don't want to receive, there's two segments of fast break emails. There's your reminders to set lineups, and there's your recaps of if you won or lost. You can unsubscribe from either or both of those if you so desire. So just so you know. Baron Trumpy says Airplane Mode. It also shows how he spends zero time with his dad. Yeah, unfortunately, you're probably right, Boston Base. But anyway. Oh, geez. Boston Base wants to talk Merc CEOs. That was a scary video, man. I saw that video. My morbid curiosity is, I mean, that's like nothing compared to the stuff that I watch on Twitter. I watch like the worst shit. I watched like factory worker accidents in China. Like I watch the worst shit on Twitter. My feed is terrible, honestly. But I've been watching terrible stuff since I was probably like 13. We used to rent this video, or it was ripped. My friend had this video, and it was called Faces of Death. And it sounds like it was. You just watch terrible shit. And that was like a young, growing mind. And that's probably why I am who I am today. But anyway, yeah, if you're not aware of it, the United Healthcare CEO was walking around in Manhattan outside of his hotel, walking to like a big event. And some dude who rode up on like a city bike took out his gun, had a silencer on it, and shot him in like the middle of Manhattan. And not only that, but apparently he inscribed messages on the bullets about there's a famous book about the healthcare system and how broken it is, and it's something about like deny something, and then he wrote depose, and it almost felt straight out of some kind of a thriller movie or something. But it sounded like someone, it's easy to come to our own conclusions, but if this were some kind of a novel or film, it sounded like someone who was taking revenge on this guy or chose him as a target because of what he represents, which is this healthcare system that denies care for so many in the US. And the healthcare system in the US is an absolute mess. I mean, it's a mess everywhere. I mean, it's a mess here too, to be honest. Like, it's not that great in Europe and even in Canada, all these other places where people are like, ooh, healthcare system's great. But the difference is here, you won't lose all your belongings and go into a lifetime of bankruptcy if you break your ankle, or if you take an ambulance ride, you're not going to pay $1,000. Did you guys see that other story about an ambulance that hit a guy that was riding his bike and then gave him a ride in the exact same ambulance that just hit him on his bike and then charged him like $1,000? That is so broken. Oh man, terrible. Let's keep it going though. QA says, what happened to your streaming setup? It's like the missus relegated you to the washing room. So this is actually the living room, and the lights have like a yellow tint. And what's been going on is I've been working kind of later than normal. And so then she wants to use the office room. And that's why I've been streaming from here. So I'm sorry that my setup has kind of sucked. Hopefully I'll figure something out. But next week at this time, I'm actually going to be in Brazil. We try to go like every year. And this is actually the last year that my baby, my 2-year-old, doesn't have to pay an adult fare. So we're like, well, we might as well take advantage of it. So we're going to Brazil again. So the quality will probably drop even lower, and it'll probably be kind of random streams happening from Brazil. Like, I don't know when exactly I'm going to stream. I know right now on the East Coast, it's like 5 o'clock, 5:30. Probably not going to be streaming at this time there. I don't know when I'm going to be streaming. It might be later. It might be completely erratic. I'm not sure, but just keep your eyes peeled. Hit the bell actually for Brazil. Hit the bell for Brazil. If you hit that notification bell, then at least you'll know when we go live at somewhat random times from Brazil. And maybe I'll do it from the hostage room with the bricks behind me. Maybe I'll do it with a coconut. Maybe I'll do it. Who knows? We could just have fun together. And you guys can tell me maybe you want to see certain things from Brazil. I'll try to do a little show and tell for you. Peachy thinks the shooter was an amateur. I don't think so, Peachy. He had like a really like a professional looking silencer gun. Like do amateurs get their hands on silencers easily? DAP Insider says, when beta? Which beta do you mean, DAP? Do I have that video? See, this is the other problem, by the way, with Restream. They really limit how many videos you can have. Like, I have the t-shirt video. How's that? Okay. Yeah, deny, defend, depose. That's what it said on the bullets. And let's see what else. Special Carnival show. That's a good request for Top Shot Hotshot. That's in February, Top Shot Hotshot. QA says, we will be there for our Tandy. Thank you, QA. You are a real only tan. By the way, everyone else in the chat, when Boston Base gave the ice cream so good, did you guys also feel like the audio was uncomfortable? I'm going to play the audio one more time, even though there's no ice cream.
Ice cream is so, so good.
I think it's funny. I think it's sensual and it's funny. All right, we're almost at an hour. I didn't think we'd get here. I was like falling asleep at the 30-minute mark. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about for the next like 5 minutes? Let me know in the chat and we can talk about it. Anything else? Anything else to share with you guys? I don't know. I just don't know. Anything else happening on Twitter? Oh, that's actually, I had sort of an interesting back and forth last night on Twitter. So I don't know if you guys caught it. I bet you did though, because it was kind of a slam dunk. But this moment card thing that Bios created, where you share the link to your moment and it creates this really beautiful looking card. It highlights your cereal. I was waiting for the PH intro music. What's the PH intro music? I don't know what PH stands for. Anyway, so yeah, people are sharing their moments, and I think it's a great thing, and it's getting us closer to where we need to be in terms of a collectible, honestly, because a nice collectible, you should feel pride in your collectible. You should be able to show it off. You should be able to share it more easily and share it in a way that looks really nice and looks special to you and all that kind of thing. And I think that this thing that Bias created is getting us there. It's getting us there. Like, I'd like to see even more. Pornhub, says Peachy. Jesus. So yeah, this thing that Bias created, I feel like it's getting us closer to this idea that where we can share our digital collectibles, and it's more unique to our cereal, and our username is in the corner and all that kind of stuff. And of course, the next stuff that I want to see is I want to see advancements made in actually curating and organizing our collections on our profile. I want to see us to be able to access other people's profiles, access like what they're up to, communicate with each other, see activity feeds, all that stuff. And some of that stuff is working, is in the works, I should say. Anyway, so this guy on Twitter, who I know that he's kind of a top shot, like, I don't know if the word is a troll. I don't know, but he's a guy, his name's like Hamburglar or something like that. I always see him kind of trolling on Top Shot tweets and things of that nature. And so he was like, well, what is the use case? And I said, what do you mean, what is the use case? He's like, what is the use case? Like, you're sharing it on a dying social network. I guess he's talking about Twitter. You're sharing it on a dying social network. What is the use case? I was like, well, the use case is you can share your digital collectible in a way that looks nice, in a way that you can feel proud of. But what is the use case? Where are you going with this? Is it for existing users? Is it for new users? You're not answering my question. That's just like, it's a way to share your digital collectible. You should, I mean, I think it's eventually going to work across all mediums. Text it to somebody, email it to somebody, put it on Instagram. You know, that's the way it should work, at least I think. But yeah, it's just a way to share something that you feel good about. Like, I don't understand why that was so confusing to him, but I'm just bringing that up to you guys. You can talk through it in the chat with me. I'm in my therapy with you all. But that kind of irritated me, and eventually I had to just like mute him. Like, dude, you're asking the same question 6 times. I've told you the same thing 6 times. I can't keep going back and forth like this. But there's some people that are just, you know, they get a kick out of it. They get a kick out of sort of, I guess, trolling or getting engagement, getting that negative energy flowing. Kind of like Top Shot Tesla. He's not here today. Top Shot Tesla likes getting the energy flowing in these chats. That's for sure. He sounds like a business analyst. What is the use case, says QA. I mean, they're collectibles. It's a way to show off your collectibles. I don't know what else to say. Anyway, Dap says, stop fighting with McDonald's mascots. That's probably the good idea. That's probably the first thing I should stop doing. That reminds me, by the way, did you see that guy? I think his name is, what is it? He wears like a purple jumpsuit, and he was performing, and he's so fat that he like has to sit on a couch, and Snoop Dogg said that he was really fat. I forget his name, but if you look on Twitter, you'll figure it out. He's just very, very fat, very fat. And he released a, thank you, Boston Base, for being here. I appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, maybe it's Grimace. No, it's not. What's his name? I know Boston Base probably knows the name of this guy. Anyway, he's like a young black performer who's really, really fat. And he was performing with an oxygen tank, a little portable oxygen tank. And the thing is, like, I think he's actually pretty talented. He's a talented guy, actually. He's like a good singer. I mean, he uses auto-tune, but he's kind of funny. I don't know if you've seen any of his other clips, but he had this other clip that was trending a week ago or so on Twitter, when he just says outlandish stuff, and he's doing it, he's like singing it through an auto-tuner, and it's actually funny. It's actually fun to listen to. Anyway, so he was singing at this event. I think it was for Juice WRLD, or one of those guys that's no longer with us. There he is, Dave Blunt. I knew Boston Base. Boston Base is my culture consultant. Dave Blunt, very fat. And anyway, so Dave Blunt's, I wonder if we should actually show and tell, because this has become a show and tell stream. But if I show you, oh man, he's so big. Man, he's so fat. I feel bad for this guy, man. You can see him right now. He's very fat. He's very, very fat. This video, though, in the middle is really funny. That's when he, that's a really funny one. But this is this music video that he released, okay? And the crazy thing about this music video is he's basically like plopped down. Like, I don't think he can walk. He's so fat that he can't walk, I think. And they have like the most kind of like almost like disrespectful camera angles of this dude, where he's basically plopped down in the middle of like a garden. Like right there, look at that. He's just plopped down. Poor guy, man. If I'm that fat, I'm not allowing those kind of camera angles of me just being plopped down. And then he's thrown in the sky, tumbling through the earth, tumbling through the sky, about to crash into the earth. And that is a heavy man. That's going to be a big cratering crash. But anyways, look how unflattering these camera angles are of this dude. Like, why does he allow that to be the camera angles allowed? If I'm that fat, I don't want camera angles looking like that. And yeah, the CGI is amazing. It's hilarious. So he definitely has a sense of humor. That's what I will give to Dave Bluntz. He has a sense of humor. I appreciate that about him. And his auto-tune music is pleasing to the ear and funny. But he's very fat, and I worry about someone when they're that fat. That's not what you want to be. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for listening. If you're going to listen on the podcast, this podcast was all over the place. I hope it provided some value for you. Tandy NFT says he needs extreme weight loss edition. Oh man, I don't know what he needs. I don't even know. How do you even lose weight when you can't even stand up? I don't think he can even stand up. He's so fat. It's terrible. But anyway, folks, thank you for hanging out with me today. And QA says, what angle can be flattering at that state with all due respect? With all due respect, there was the angle of him kind of sitting on the porch where it's basically just like his chest and up. That's what I would do if I was that fat. I would say we're just doing chest and up. Or we'll do CGI kind of, cartoon character that represents me. I don't want you sitting me on the grass and zooming out and just showing what a big plopped, I don't know what the word to use even. I'm just like a big mass, a human mass, sitting down and looking like my legs haven't been used in years and I can't stand up and I'm incredibly fat. Not a good look. An Arby's collaboration, Sean suggests. I mean, that could definitely work. But he's probably at the top of his popularity right now. He probably should be calling Arby's Ozempic. He needs a heavy dose of Ozempic. That's for sure. Anyways, thanks everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this was useful to you. And we will talk again soon. I mean, I think next week I'll be in Brazil, so we'll see. Hit that bell, and we'll see when we chat next time. All right. So thank you, everybody. Have a nice evening. And good luck in fast break. Bye-bye.
Static Selector.